If you look at the trend overall, and if you have been following me for a very long time, Euro USD analysis always, like, even though the market kicked me out, you see my top down analysis is always correct, 95% correct. So that is the hard work. It doesn't just come in months, right? So now, if you look at the trend, you see that we have characteristics of an uptrend. And when we look at also from the monthly time frame, right? Market has been pushing from the monthly time frame. Buyers have been in control, right? And then if I look at the left, when the trend is moving, I'm looking at the left, right? I'm looking at when the market is moving in a bullish direction in all time frames. I'm looking at the possible roadblocks. I mean, possible danger zones. Danger zone means possible strong supply area, because where the market is pushing up, it's going to be encountering the past supply areas, strong supply areas that I call them the selling neighborhood, where sellers can be able to push or give a fight to the buyers, even though buyers are going to take over. Those major supply area where the market is pushing up tend to cause retracement, right? If those major supply area are coming from the monthly time frame, it causes a deeper retracement, which may affect the trend reversal on daily and H4. We can then know that, okay, at this point, we don't want to keep looking for buy. Let's counter trend this retracement, right? So this guy has been pushing. And if I look at the left here, look at here, when the market come across this level, here, there was a rejection, there was a reaction here, because it's a major selling neighborhood, which is the danger zone in Bastra terms, right? So this level here was able to give a fight. You see a rejection. But if you go to the lower time frame, you see that we had a potential blind spot on the weekly. I think I did this analysis last month or thereabout, right? So it pushes, because of the buyers will not be able to break this level. So they may push down to get a lot of momentum from. So we can be able to tell if the market is making a retracement, where is the retracement going to end? In my top-down analysis, I know where it's going to end, right? So now, if I look at this level here, this one look like this level here, right? Where the market currently is now. Look at this push with a lot of momentum. Do you think the market will have a lot of strength to keep pushing? We may have that retracement back to a little back before the market can push, right? Because what? Buyers have been in control. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, 5 buying candles, right? 5 buying candles shows the strength of buyers in the market, right? That is why sellers will come, make a little retracement, and then market continue pushing. So we know from the monthly time frame that the market is pushing up, and then we go to the weekly time frame, and on the also weekly time frame is pushing up, is making that push. But we can clearly see on the daily time frame. So if we move to the daily time frame, our overall direction, we are buying neighborhood, right? If I look at the daily time frame, and I told you guys that we may have that retracement because the market is currently tapping from, on the monthly, is currently tapping from a supply zones or a danger zones, right? So that reaction, because of the selling neighborhood here, they may be able to cause a little retracement, a little fight. The fight means they may disturb the buyers to push down, and then buyers will push down to get a lot of momentum to push the market up, right? And then we can see that from the weekly, daily time frame. Daily has already given us something like, if you go to the line chart, it looks like I was expecting even a retracement from last week, it look like what we call a truncated M right there. Right? If the market is going to push, where is the market going to push? You see that we have a potential blind spot right here. If the selling neighborhood or the danger zone from the monthly time frame is strong enough, it can cause the retracement back to this level where we can have that pushback. And where we are expecting the retracement to come here is a potential blind spot setup. And then we back this potential blind spot setup on the daily time. I mean, I'm going to put my line here, right? Something like a trend line as a confluence, or we use T-bar star. So I can use this one. Connect T-bar star means connect your trend line. There's no specific rule. Just connect the trend line as it pleases. So we use T-bar style in Bastra concept, right? So now, for me to be sure that if the market comes here, it's going to make a push. This is why, if you observe my setup, every setup I drop, even if it's going to fail, market must react. There must be a selling or a buying pressure from that point. There must be a selling or a buying pressure from that point, even if the market is going. Market cannot just come to my zone, except maybe something like news, and then break it like that so easy. Because I took time from the higher time frame down to the lower time frame, and I know that, or we all know that it is the higher time frame that controls the lower time frame. So, what is this? So, we go to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, what do I have? I have this confirmation candle on the weekly time frame. This confirmation candle has already given me the confidence that if the market is to push back down to this level, we are going to look for some buy opportunities, right? Even if you want to use, you can use this strategy. Is versatile. It's a different version of original. My method is a different version of um, um, Nora Karim, the founder of Basra. Shout out to Nora Karim. It's a different, it's a different version of the original Basra concept where we use sector versus direction. That is the concept I was trading. And then because of my experience, and I spent a lot of time on the chart, I was able to come up with my own approach, which I call the SIP system, my unique approach, right? That give me the crazy consistency I've been looking for all this year. So we know that, okay, the market should come in the long run. We are going to look for some buys here. The strategy is versatile. Even if you want to do scalp, you want to become day trading, you want to become a swing. I'm a swing trader anyway. So now that we are expecting the push back down, and then the daily has started giving us a kind of reversal that the market is going to push. So what do? We want to cash the counter trend to this level. The same thing that happened on USD CAD. We want to cash a counter trend to this level, because this is the daily time frame. It may take the whole week for market to get here. So if you are trading Euro USD, are you going to sit and wait? Because my setup comes from the H4, H1, and sometimes 30 minutes time frame. But sometimes too, depending on what is presented on the chart, sometimes too, I found setup on the daily time frame. Because when you find a setup on the daily time frame, market may take days to get to your zone. So what do? You can choose to counter trend. So in this wise, if we go to the H4, the H1 time frame, we want to see, you don't just counter trend like that. we want to see the counter trend in respect to who is sending me this. Yes, I'm using Rwanda. I'm using Rwanda, bro. Which one be T for T? I don't know what you're talking about. So, because I have done my top line analysis, I know where the market is coming from. I know that, okay, I can counter trend, right? And I'll go to the lower time frame. I've understood the week, the monthly, the weekly, and the daily time frame, right? Then I'll now go to the H4 or the H1 time frame to now start looking for setup. If I want to counter trend, there must be a setup that align. You don't just jump in, right? So if I come here, I see that this guy has been pushing. This guy has been pushing, bro. If you understand the top-down analysis the way I did, and then Fantastic Five will become, or Fantastic Seven will become the most beautiful thing you have learned in your trading space, right? So if you look at this one now, you see impulse correction like that when the market was pushing, and then the market gets enter into consolidation. Market do not just consolidate for no reason. The only reason for this consolidation is because of what is happening from the higher time frame. So you need to get your fact right before you take. It's not every Fantastic Five you see on the chart that is worth taking, right? So now, all of a sudden, the Dow theory was breached, right? This is the low here. With a momentum, with a lot of momentum that pushed the upside, and then price enter into consolidation, and then this low was taken out. So this becomes what? Excuse me, guys. This becomes potential Quasimodo reversal. Potential means that something that has not happened, right? It is only when the market sell, it's now we call it Quasimodo reversal. But in the process where it can fail, it may not work, price may not come back to the zone. We call it potential setup, potential scenario C1, right? So as of the time I mark it last night, before I was doing mentorship session as well. So I forgot to post it last night. So as of the time I marked, the market was still here, somewhere here. So we call it potential Quasimodo setup, right? Now, this become our potential Quasimodo reversal setup because we know what is going on the higher time frame. And then, because I found this setup, if you go to the H4 time frame, also, what do? You can also see that the Quasimodo is also obvious on H4 time frame, right? But then we choose, I said it 10 without number. When you find a setup, maybe you find the same setup on H1, the same setup on M30, also a setup on entity. Which time frame are you going to consider? So we consider the time frame that is close to the confirmation candle. So if the setup on the H1 is close to the confirmation candle from the H4 time frame, it means that you are going to use the one from the H4 time frame. I mean, from the one that is close to the confirmation candle. So in this case, we found a potential setup here. And the most interesting thing on this one is that this is the strongest key level. If I remove this level here, let me remove it. If I remove this thing here, you see that here is potential SNRC2 here. because there was a mini downtrend, lower low, lower high, lower low right here. So this is a potential SNRC2 right there. And also at the same zone, we have here, we have here, we have lower low, and then we have higher high. So means that two setup happening on the same zone. Shout out to mentor. She call it, Nora Karim call it the strongest key level. You know, when we talk about key level, generally, key levels are strong support and resistance zones, general key level. But in Bastra concept, key level means, strongest key level means when we have two different, sometimes we can have three set of at the same zone. So we call it the strongest key level. In this example, we have potential Quasimodo reversal and also potential SNRC2. And if you know the concept of SNRC2 is this, knowing this thing is not enough. The experience to trade them, no, let me draw better. I want to explain something. So we have this one, and then we have this one. And the market is coming here. Let's say this is our line. Sometime when market gets here, sometime market will sell from here. It may come here and sell. But it depends on your understanding with the biochemist entering techniques discovered by PureHEART, right? So the market may get here and sold. Remember, this is a rally-based drop. Market may also, what did I do, guys? Let me bring back. Can we bring that drawing back? Okay. Market may also push in the zone. May also push to come here to this level here before dropping. So if you understand biochemist entering, it depends on the condition. Biochemist entering technique is not a formula. It depends on the condition of the setup that is presented to you, right? So now, if you use confirmation of rejection, if the market get into the zone, what do you do? Confirmation of rejection is for people who are still battling with psychology. So if you want to trade with biochemist entering techniques, biochemist entering techniques is for traders. Traders means you have the mentality of a trader. You know what you are doing. You are not afraid to get in. But we also have people who have strategy, yet they are not forex trader, because having a strategy is different thing from being a trader. You can have a strategy and being afraid to execute your strategy, right? So that does not mean you're a trader. Even though your name is Daniel FX, you are still not a trader, because a trader is just from the having the mentality of a forex trader, seeing stop loss as a stop trade, right? That is the mentality of a trader. So this guy can come here, push here, and drop. So if you are waiting for confirmation of rejection, whether the market gets here or anything the market want to do, once they give you that confirmation of rejection, and then that is when you start preparing to enter. But if you are using biochemist entering techniques, it depends on the condition of the trade. If you go to the lower time frame, the biochemist entering techniques is going to give you a precise point to shoot early. So it gives you early entry in the market, and that is what I use. I introduced these entry techniques this year, 2025. Because I've been using confirmation or rejection and another entry. But for me, I don't settle for less, because sometimes I have confirmation of rejection and market will still kick me out. And the most painful thing is when market kick you out on a setup that is still going to play in your direction is the most painful thing. But if the market kick you out in the sense that you are wrong, that is a normal thing, because we cannot do without having a stop loss hit. The stop loss is part of our strategy. When we said our strategy is 60% win rate, it means that the 30% of the time is for stop loss hit and 60% of the time is for TP hit. So I wonder why someone will have a 60% strategy and it's being painful when you have a stop loss. Is it not part of your strategy? Right? So as long as our strategy, even if our strategy is 100%, as long as in the hands of human being, it can never be 100% because human, we are created to be imperfect, right? We make errors sometimes because of, by human nature, we are greedy people, we are impatient people. So a lot of factors that may happen on the market that will lose a trade. So losing is part of our strategy. And that is why a stop loss is there. The idea of a stop loss is to stop you from losing more than what you choose to lose. So when I hear people crying for stop losses, I know they are not traders. Because a trader was supposed to understand that the introduction of stop loss is for your own goods. Oh, I was able to stop a loss today. If not because of stop loss, maybe market, I would have blown my account. Can't we say that? People are paying for just a stop loss because we don't understand what stop loss is all about. A stop loss means is to stop a trade, right? So let's get back to my explanation. So now we have the stronger key level right there. And then we have this zone right here. So in this zone, if the market going to fail, is it not going to fail? You now wait for, if you like, you like my mentorship student, everybody have their options to out of the entering techniques. If you're a hard working trader, you should perfect entry techniques because different setup come with different conditions. There are some setup that I use confirmation or rejection based on, especially most of these setup that come with a blind spot. And each setup comes with each condition, right? So sometimes I look at the condition of that setup, I know the possibility of using biochemist entering techniques not needed. And I have to wait for confirmation of rejection, right? So in this one here, I don't like talking much about entering, but this is the potential setup I'm looking forward to trade, right? Who is that person? I will remove you. I'm not looking for people to teach, bro. I'll remove you. Okay. So where my kids at? Oh, this nigga trying to give me a vasectomy. That's clearly what he's trying to do. Hey, turn off these cameras while this man got my legs. What are you trying to accomplish? You already have me submitted. I'm in the world of fast moving. Somebody answer this question for me. If God is good, being here is a privilege. I owe you nothing. So if you don't come to my Zoom session and be distracting me. So if this setup is going to hold, and then you wait for confirmation or rejection, right? So confirmation or rejection, this setup is coming from H4 time frame. It's either you wait for 1 hour time frame for confirmation of rejection, and also sometimes confirmation of rejection also happens directly on the time frame that the setup is formed. So this is the potential setup that we are looking forward to trade. Whether win or lose, whether win or lose, it is what it is. You must lose based on your criteria. You must win based on your criteria, right? So if I lose based on my criteria, it's a very good loss, right? So if I lost because I was eager to trade because maybe market has not provided my setup, that is a bad loss. So if you also win because you jump into the market, you feel like I know that the market was going to drop. It's not a good win. It's a very bad win. So if you lost based on your criteria, it's a very good loss. In fact, if I lost, I'm going to win again. For the last month to now, how many losses have we taken from the market? We have been able to scrutinize our losses. So we don't care. So this is potential setup on Euro USD. So wait for confirmation of rejection. For me, I know the entry I'm going to go in, or for Adulam traders, we know what the confirmation we are going in. Guys, maybe we can come back. It's still raining here. We can come back